Alright, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Shamil Shai. The witness the apostles at Great Millstone. I'm going to go straight into it, another edition. What I'm going to talk about here is, what I'm going to say is the Queen made a speech the other day, and she basically mentioned about extremism, and there was some information that came out in certain various finds and information where she said that pretty much that they're going to crack down on extremism. And when you look further into the information, you know what you find out, bro? You find out that she said that they're going to crack down on people that upload extremist material. They're going to put a block on that, and they're going to put gag orders on people that do these things and speak out. So we know that's suppression, and that's New World Order stuff. There's a speech, she made a speech this year in the House of Lords and that. But what I want to talk about also is the fact in the speech she mentioned about for this public transport and stuff, and different forms of transport, to introduce electric vehicles and autonomous vehicles. That sounds like something from a Demolition Man, and she mentioned a lot of different things. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just putting it out there. But what I want to do is focus on this information that I've got here from the Express. And we did a video about the EU Army, and I want to bring this one out. It says, female Italian EU boss behind migrant chaos set to order British Army into battle. It says Britain has hosted secret Euro Army war games on Salisbury Plain in a move feared to be a firm step towards the formation of an EU army. It comes as the UK leads the EU's High Readiness European Battle Group, which could see senior British Army officers take direct orders from Brussels bureaucrats. Despite owning its allegiance to the Crown, the British Army was even ordered to emblazoned headquarter vehicles with EU flags, asserting beyond any doubt that they were involved in a NATO exercise. Now, if you've got British vehicles flagging, no, we're not talking about the NATO flag now, flagging EU. The EU is an economic system. It's the economic power structure of these European nations aligned. It's the economic, because you've got EU laws as well. Now you got NATO, which is the military force, but they said they're having an EU army, but the EU army goes hand in hand with the NATO, and it's all a New World Order conglomerate. We spoke about this when we did a video about the call for an EU army, and there was certain information in that article that came out that homed in on stuff like that. So for the fact that that Britain, which in the findings said that it was a part of the Crown, for them to come out and say, look, what we're doing here is we're going to have those vehicles with EU symbolism on the vehicles. You know what that means? That's a call for for Britain to be part of the EU and join it, and for all nations to be under that EU NATO system, which is a New World Order system. Because you got people saying, right now you got the Britex thing and all that, and that going back and forth. Well, Britain is not going to be independent. According to the scriptures, well, nations are going to break off because England, their mother shall hate the whole. England's going to nuke America. But for the New World Order to come into place, there has to be some global unity. Remember, the League of Nations and NATO came out of World War I and World War II anyway. So the plans of the globalist powers and the elites, the Rothschilds, is to have globalist powers. But the thing with England is they rule behind the scenes with the Rothschilds and the Queen, and the Crown sitting on the throne. That's where they rule from. So England doesn't really have to be a part of anything anyway. But they want this whole idea of globalism, totalitarianism. So the British Army Brigadier was today on standby to lead the fighting and peacekeeping force, including of hundreds of British troops. And if it deploys in operations, it says that order, however, would not come from permanent joint headquarters in Northwood, but rather from Frederick Mogherini, who heads the EU's foreign affairs and security policy. The Italian Socialist politician currently heads the EU's disastrous policy for the migrant operation in the Mediterranean Sea. She will also script and oversee any operational directives. So what I want to talk about here, the idea for Euro battle groups came after the EU and the UK and France, which boast the EU's most effective armed forces, urged Brussels to find a way of taking some of the strain in defence. Now you got countries that are all part of the EU. You got economic countries that are already part of the EU, but they wanted to make an EU army with an EU flag. You know what I'm saying? So for them to be doing this shows you what time we're coming in, man. So what I want to do here is, because you know what, to be honest, I've read most of the information here that is important in this find. Because they're talking about the war. I mean, I'm going to post a link because there's a lot to read. I'm not going to read all of this. It's too much to read. I'm going to go back to the top here. Bear with me because there's a lot in this information. I was just scrolling through to pick out the... Okay, a government spokesman, this is at the end of it, said, the Prime Minister has repeatedly made clear that the UK will never be part of an EU army. We retain a veto on all defence matters in the EU, and we will oppose any measures which would undermine member states' military forces. And they've already got NATO, the treaty that if you attack one of the member of NATO, all the other members have to get involved. So this EU army, why would you need that? But we see what's going on here, because they're going to merge government, monetary and religious, where you got the Crown, England, London, capital. They've got economic power structure, Washington DC, military power structure, hence they've got America all over the world, banks, London running it, religious, Roman Catholic Church, all religions come out of the Roman Catholic Church. So, so that's what it is, man. Let me go back all the way to the top now, because I want to bring back out what he said at the top, and then I'm going to bring the scripture out, because you got a lot of scoffers that come in the boards, but you know, it's all good, man. So they were ordered to run with the flag of the EU. I want to bring this out. This is Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that ye have but a short time. And they don't want to reenact this Tower of Babel back again, where there's this great unification of New World Order power structure. And we got to think about this, man. Because you might hear about but you know what they do is desensitize you to the information. That's how they play it. They play it by desensitizing your ass to the information, bro. Yeah. So what we're going to start seeing more is more of this, more cashless news coming out, more RFID coming out, more globalist union plans coming out. You got to look for these key things. But that's the scripture says about them having their eyes open. The scripture says in Ephesians 5:15 to redeem the times, be circumspect, to look around, because all of these things that we see are a part of them initiating and enacting a globalist agenda, which is against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai of a new world order. But do you know what the thing is? The Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, under the Israelites and the elect, starting with the elect, we're going to have a new world order in righteousness. So with that, I'm going to say, all praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Don't want to see the apostles at Great Millstone. And then keep watching, you know. Shalom.